the Schmo with the pro, with the California kid, the OG, the Hall of Famer, Mr. Urijah Faber, in the flesh at the Hard Rock Hotel, Hollywood, Florida. How we doing?
That scared me. You got to give me a warning before you flip out like that, man.
Listen, man, every single time we do these interviews, you're always wearing flip-flops, never socks, man. I know you're the California kid, but when are you ever going to put on a pair of normal shoes?
That's a great question. I was in Denver for my layover, and it was freezing walking from the plane to the, to the actual airport, but that was only about 2 minutes, so no need. We're good.
So obviously we're here to support Chad Mendes, man, longtime friend, but his opponent couldn't even make weight, man. We know how much Chad had to sacrifice to get to this very day, and his opponent doesn't even make weight. Not 1-2 pounds, but many pounds over.
Yeah, that's disappointing, and I talked to the guy, his opponent, and you could tell he wasn't happy about the fact he didn't make it, but Chad takes it serious. He's a consummate professional. He had to cut weight for 155, which is kind of comical now looking back, because we were laughing about how he was a 25-pounder at one point in college. It was a really, really hard cut for him, and I think he's going to take it out on his opponent.
Well, the intriguing thing here is he has 3 fights left on his deal with the UFC. That's what he told the Schmo yesterday during an interview. But Dana and the graces of the UFC, man, allowed him to take this fight. Different organization, man. You don't hear that every day.
No, and that's just respect for the UFC brass for letting a guy come and do something different. I mean, Chad really had no intention of going back to the UFC, but in case he does, maybe this will light a fire. They still have him under contract. Hopefully they could renegotiate the contract because, inflation, time has gone by. It's not an up-to-date contract, and but Chad has been hungry to fight. This is going to show the hard work he's put in, and we're appreciative to both Bare Knuckle and the UFC for working together on this one.
Damn straight. Let's talk about what's going on with a former foe, Petr Yan. I guess he's the interim champion of the bantamweight division. He's fighting the champion in Aljamain Sterling. They've been booked many times, but finally the date is locked. It's going to be in Jacksonville, UFC 273, man. What do you think Aljamain Sterling has to do to be in still?
Man, I forgot about all that drama. So Jan's the interim champ, and Aljamain had to learn something out of that last fight. I mean, it was kind of slipping away from him towards the end there, and Jan has not taken his foot off the pedal. Aljo has not taken his foot off the pedal, but I think in the last showing, Jan was the better fighter. Aljo needs to do something different. He wasn't getting it done the first time. He was kind of getting out wrestled a little bit, and I think Jan's wrestling's got a little bit better. So I think, Aljo is going to maybe try to go for an awkward stand-up style and maybe find some takedowns at choice points. Jan's definitely the favorite in my opinion.
It's the Urijah Faber effect. Ever since he beat you, I'm sorry, man, but he's just been on a tear.
Yeah, you know what? It's cool to know, and I knew that going into that fight it was going to be a very tough fight. I watched the guy, I met the guy, I knew that he was on trajectory to do what he's doing, but I'm glad I got to fight him. You know what I mean? When he's done with his fighting career, maybe he's 37, 38, I don't know what it is, maybe he's going to fight a younger guy, and that'll go on. And I fought Jens Pulver, who fought someone else, We could have touched like a 50-year radius of fighters that we fought. So I like that story part of it.
How does the resolution happen between Francis Ngannou and the UFC? How do they make amends with the heavyweight champion of the world, Francis Ngannou? Obviously, he's got the knee injury. He's going to be out for some time.
I haven't been following it too much, but I think the answer is money. Pay that man the money. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. I think when it really comes down to the very last minute, I feel like the UFC will pony up, and hopefully they reach an agreement that works, because we all want to see the best fighters in the world in the UFC. I know I do.
Well, Adesanya just got paid. Speaking of one of the best fighters in the world, they just renewed his contract, or upped his contract up a little bit. It was reported. Well, the Schmo doesn't know the official numbers. They don't disclose that to the Schmo. But he's one of the highest paid fighters. Maybe Conor McGregor's the only fighter that makes more than him.
Well, Conor's killing it in all facets of the world, man. Do they count that? I mean, because Conor was the highest paid fighter or highest paid athlete in the world. Props to Conor. But I think that takes into account all the business he's doing as well, right?
Of course, man. Speaking of businesses, you're making some cheddar or what?
This is cheddar. It's not my business. It's my first entry into the crypto world, and I hit the jackpot, I feel like. You know, I went way up and went way down, and I guess that's the crypto world. I'm just learning about it. But it's been fun. What do you think about crypto? I mean, this is really going to be the future, right?
Yeah, the Schmo's all versed in the metaverse. It really is the future. It's here to stay. The Schmo can't imagine just living life, wearing some goggles and feeling like we're here. We got to be in person. We got to rub elbows and stuff like that.
That's right. Well, we need to get you some cheddar then.
We got to get the Schmo some cheddar, but the one thing the Schmo knows about is underwear, and we want to give you a pair of underwear. Robert Patton sheathed underwear, dual protection, separates the balls from the pouch. You got to give this to you. I know you're a schmedium, man.
Well, I'm a no underwear guy. This is California, man. Flip-flops, no underwear. I didn't have a shirt on under this thing either, but they gave me a bare knuckle one, so here I am. I'll rock these, though. There is a time for underwear.
There is.
Now is not the time.
But it separates the balls in the shaft. It keeps you warm. This guy, Iraq War veteran, man, in Afghanistan, overseas, man, doesn't stick in the hot desert sun.
He should know that sometimes the soldiers need to stick together.
Well, that's why you and the Schmo always do these interviews.
All right, well, who's the balls and who's the shaft?
Let the audience decide. Can we get a final message for all the California kid fans out there worldwide?
Guys, we've got some huge fights coming up for the team. I mean, literally, the month of March is going to be nuts for us, and then going into April, keep your eyes peeled. We've got Jan, Song, we've got Corey McKenna, we've got Macy Barber, we've got Slava Borshev, Michael Malott, Josh Emmett, Andre Touchy-Feely is going to be up on the docket. And Cubby Bear's been calling me out. I may do it. We'll see. I don't know.
But it's got to be in Palm Springs.
Whatever he says, I mean, it's got to make sense for me. I hope it makes sense for him, but I'm just worried about myself on this one.
Yeah, the Schmo's just waiting to get his Christmas presents from Slava Claus, man. I hear he's got great presents.
He does, man. You know what? Slavakos could use his balls separated from his shafts a little bit. Maybe we should get him something, and maybe he'll get you something. It'd be a good show of goodwill for the claws to get him some underwear as well.
We got a large on deck for him. He's the pro. I'm the Schmo here in Hollywood, Florida. We're out.